This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for April 10, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, JCF and the GDF staged a massive operation in St. Andrew South Police Division. Less than 24 hours after the St. Andrew South Police urged the most wanted men in the division to turn themselves in, a massive police military operation was launched in search of them. The 10 most wanted men, 8 of whom have been linked to murders, were given until midday yesterday to surrender to the police, but with none responding to the call by 3 p.m. on Sunday, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force, supported by the JDF Air Wing, moved into 2 of the hotspots in the division. The Joint Police Military Team, working under Operation Relentless, which was given a boost last Saturday with a series of island-wide operations in all police divisions to bolster the continuous efforts to combat crime and ensure the safety and the security of the nation, swarmed the Greenwich Town and Whitfield Town communities. We have a lot of uneducated culprits in the space with high-powered weapons shooting at each other, head of the St. Andrew South Police Division, Senior Superintendent Kirk Ricketts told the media during an interview in Whitfield Town during the operation Sunday afternoon. We are not very optimistic that having seen their names in the media, they will come in. These are hardened criminals. Most of them can't read and write, they don't necessarily have common sense, but we have laid the table for them, and if they want to come and eat, we are willing to have them come in, or otherwise we are willing to come and find them, added Ricketts. He pointed out that Whitfield Town is a perennial hotspot which continuously has gang conflicts. We are in search mode right across the country. The JCF has pushed out as much officers as possible to dominate the spaces, particularly the hotspots we are concerned about, said Ricketts. The divisional commander underscored that the crime rate in the St. Andrew South Division, which is home to more than 20 inner-city communities, is not low, even though the numbers are now below last year's figures. We are still not comfortable because the St. Andrew South Division continues to be one of the more violent spaces in the country, said Ricketts. In the last month or so, we have seen an uptick in violent incidents across the division. We have identified a number of persons we believe to be the main perpetrators behind these incidents, and as such, we have released a number of names. These persons are categorized as persons of interest, as well as we have a number of persons who are wanted and can be before the courts, and we have also released their names. We believe that these individuals are the main perpetrators behind the violence we are seeing in the division, said Ricketts, as he told the media that there are on average 70 gangs operating in the division, of which 40 are active. They range from our eastern boundaries here in Whitfield Town across to Waterhouse and the Seaview Gardens and the Cockburn Pen. These are the areas we have been having challenges with over the last month or two, said Ricketts. Last Saturday, head of operations at the St. Andrew South Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Coleridge Minto, released the latest crime numbers for the division. Data for this time last year, we had 33 murders when compared to 22, a reduction of 33%. Shootings 38 when compared to 33 this year, a reduction of 13%, said Minto as he named the division's most wanted men. Taximan charged for larceny of rental vehicle. A taxi operator who went missing after renting a motor vehicle on Cargill Avenue, Kingston 10 on Sunday, February 26, has been charged with the larceny of a motor vehicle. Charged is 32-year-old Timoy Walters of Truman Avenue, Kingston 19. The Halfway Tree police reported that Walters rented a Toyota Hiace from a woman for 5 days, scheduling its return for Friday, March 3. Walters, however, did not honor the agreement, and the several calls to the telephone number he provided went unanswered. Walters was subsequently arrested by lawmen in Halfway Tree and was charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being arranged. Man killed in Trelawny motor vehicle accident. A St. Catherine man died from injuries he sustained during a motor vehicle accident in Trelawny early Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 49-year-old Howard Phillips of a Spanish Town, St. Catherine address. Reports are that about 2 a.m., Phillips was driving a white Toyota Fielder on the Coral Spring Main Road in Trelawny when he lost the control of the vehicle, which ran off the road and then overturned. Phillips, who was the lone occupant of the vehicle and who sustained multiple injuries, died on the spot. The Duncans police are investigating. Phillips became the third motor vehicle accident victim in the parish since the start of the year. The Trelawny Police Division recorded 31 road fatalities last year. OPM spends $7.4 million to air Prime Minister's budget presentation. The Office of the Prime Minister shelled out over $2.4 million to 8 media houses for the live broadcast of Prime Minister Andrew Holness's contribution to the 2023-2024 budget debate on Thursday, March 16. An additional $5 million was spent by the OPM to have 4 private media houses, including the island's 2 major free-to-air television stations, carry a rebroadcast of the presentation days later, while a 5th media house carried the rebroadcast at no cost as a part of a package deal. In addition, the OPM allocated US $1,000 or approximately $150,000 for projected social media posts related to the broadcast. Responding to questions from the news, the OPM said it spent no money for the broadcast of the Prime Minister's contribution to the 2022-2023 budget debate, as it was able to tap into the media's public service broadcast obligation and a secure partial broadcast. Explaining the big spend on the rebroadcast of the presentation, the OPM said this was as a result of the disruption in the live broadcasted presentation for 2023-2024 and the need to inform the citizens of the key aspects of the presentation, which outlined the plans of the government for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. The Office of the Prime Minister was mindful that this disruption affected listenership and viewership due to the break in transmission for approximately 2 hours during the live broadcast. Thus, the decision was taken for the increase of rebroadcast and the social media engagement to allow for dissemination of information to the citizenry on the budget presentation and the plans outlined by the Prime Minister for 2023-2024. Holness's presentation was interrupted due reportedly to a system failure about 15 minutes into his address. For about 1 hour, the sitting was suspended as efforts were being made to fix the audio system. During the interruption, at least one member of the government benches could be heard uttering, "This is sabotage." There has yet to be an official explanation for what caused the audio issues, as well as power outages that at one point left the proceedings in darkness. KLAS Gospel JA, Roots FM, Power 106, Sun City Radio, Cool 97 FM, Love 100, Mellow FM and the Observer Group were the entities contracted by the OPM to carry the live broadcast of the Prime Minister's presentation. Mellow FM, TVJ, CVM TV, Love 101 and the JIS were those which were contracted to air the rebroadcast. Government sources have pointed out that the free-to-air television stations would have carried the Prime Minister's broadcast live as usual, with the rebroadcast on a Sunday carrying a big price tag which pushed up the spend to $5 million. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.